Welcome to A Word with the Girls. Welcome back to A Word with the Girls. I'm Molly. I'm joined here by my sisters, Emily and Abby. Make sure to go follow us on Instagram at A Word with the Girls. And if you haven't yet subscribed to our podcast on Spotify, go ahead and click that follow button so you don't miss an episode. We would love to hear from you. If you have a question or a word that you'd like for us to discuss, make sure to comment on Spotify or our Instagram or on YouTube, and your word might be featured in future episodes. All right. Before we dive in, how are we doing?
And it's been a couple of weeks since we've gotten together and chatted. A lot's happened in the last few weeks, that's for sure.
Yeah, there's something about April. I don't know what the deal is, but she's like really, I don't know, coming in hot. I feel like it also feels like this month has lasted 5 years.
It does feel like that.
So there's something about it. Maybe it's like the eclipse and the full moon and like all of it together just like slowed time down or something. It's wild.
Yeah, because the last time we were together was when you all were prepping for Annie's birthday, and that feels like a lifetime ago.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I now have a 1-year-old. Yeah,
Wild.
it's crazy.
She's the best. I think about her every day.
Oh,
I just love her so much.
she is awesome.
She's the best.
She's walking. She's
Okay.
walking with her little hands up. She walks around like a little baby gorilla.
Oh.
Yeah, she is. Man, I've had to say, be nice to her more than, and I think, yeah, I mean, she doesn't really know how to communicate, but she has this squawk that she does, and you're like, whoa, yikes. Especially to Amos. For some reason, Amos just frustrates her. So, it's funny.
Oh man. That's funny. Yeah, doing okay. I don't know. Work is the same. It has been really nice that like the weather has been so nice, so I've been like running more, and even just like the sunshine. It really just changes your life when the days get longer, and yeah, so that's been fun. Feels
When you went on
rejuvenating.
like a fun little getaway for like a few days, I mean, close, almost like a staycation. That looked nice.
Yeah, I'm trying this new rhythm of like trying to get out of town like once a month, whatever that looks like, you know. So yeah, there's this bed and breakfast in Paonia that I've been following on Instagram for a while, and I have been wanting to stay there. And every other time that I've been like, oh, I think I'm gonna go away this weekend, they either haven't been open or they've been full. And so we had a 3-day weekend and I just kind of took advantage. It was lovely, really lovely. So I feel like I'm getting better at like the solo travel, which is insane to talk about since I like literally lived overseas by myself for 8 years. But there's just, I feel like I'm getting more brave. Like I went out to dinner and like ate at this restaurant and sat by myself, and it was
so
like this
brave.
tiny little like hole in the wall place too. So it was like hard to just blend in and not be noticed.
Did you bring like a book or something?
Well, there was like no internet because there's no signal in Paonia, barely. Fortunately, I had like a book on my phone, like on Kindle, so I kind of did that, but it was definitely like, okay, we're just gonna embrace this. But
Wow, very brave.
yeah, so lots of people watching, but it was really fun. It was a good weekend too because I did that, and then we went to Ridgeway and rode
It was
bikes.
heavenly.
So it was like the perfect Colorado weekend, which was good.
I'm not gonna lie, when I see those moments, I'm like, get me to Colorado stat.
We
We're
think
literally
the same
thinking the
thing.
same thing.
We're like, something's missing. Oh yeah.
Like literally, we're always like, Emily and Kevin should be here right now.
Yep.
I know this weekend we took some time to get outside and we went to a lake, and it just made us think like, yeah, I definitely want to get it. We should get an RV. I like just like envisioning us like doing those things, like going to a lake and being with the family and going for bike rides or camping together. And so
Oh my gosh, I can't
so yeah,
for that.
it'll be here. Yeah, I feel like the last few weeks have been really crazy for me. I've traveled a lot Like I
Mhm.
was in Arizona, Connecticut, Florida, like just all over the place. And
Insane.
Yeah.
yeah, so it was like wild, and some other hard stuff happened that we'll eventually, we'll probably talk about at some point, but it's been a bit of a doozy these last few weeks, but have some things planned in the near future, which will be a good thing, things to look forward to, travel and trips and work stuff. So I'm looking forward to those things.
And we've gone on several trips the last couple of months. Alex had some time off. So after Annie's party, we went to Salt Lake, and that was awesome. Alex had the opportunity to take some family leave time. And so we were able to just take lots of fun trips. And, I think same thing with Molly, just as a family, I think we're just trying to be more brave and more intentional and
Mhm.
scheduling things out. And because it really is, even though it takes a lot of effort to get out of town, it really is so life-giving.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, Salt Lake, and we went to Arches for the day, which was magical, and yeah, Ridgeway. So just been taking advantage of that. Alex is now back to normal work schedule. So we're adjusting back to normalcy. But
The other big update is like I'm no longer in a boot. I'm walking around in shoes now, which is fun. So that feels like major progress in like my road to recovery with this whole
whoa.
Achilles thing. So
For
and I'm
sure.
driving, thankfully. So I just feel like a lot more independent
Oh,
with
thank
some movement and
goodness.
stuff. So that's exciting.
Well, it's good to be back.
Yeah.
I know.
Miss this.
I know I am looking forward to our random
I know.
word that we'll be choosing. So
Mhm.
Abby, do you want to
Yes. 18.
Okay. The word is movies.
Ooh.
That's a good one. Nice,
Mm.
lighthearted conversation topic. So, when it comes to movies, what movie comes to mind when we were growing up for you? Maybe the one that we watched all the time, or
There's a whole bunch, like I think there's like little pockets of movies that stick out. So like Princess Diaries, Parent Trap,
Mhm.
the like that genre. And then there's
Mhm.
like Little Rascals, Dennis the Menace,
Sandlot.
Sandlot, Madeline, Matilda.
Yeah.
And then obviously like the Disney movies too.
Yeah, I
Hmm.
guess I think of like Homeward Bound,
I was thinking of that one too. Yeah.
Totally. Oh.
And I don't know if it's because we had pets growing up, and so it just felt very relevant. Like, what if Ruthie and Fanny and Sadie got out? Like, what would their journey home
Totally.
be, or something?
That'd be
But also, like, so heart wrenching. Even though you knew we watched that movie like 100 times, and it still made you cry because you're like, they're never gonna make it home, and the porcupine and all the things,
The doggy falls into
Uh,
the muddy pit and he can't get out.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shadow. Homeward Bound. You know the other one that I thought of the other day? What's the one? Little Princess or something, where
Uh-huh.
the shoes and the
Yes,
I don't
I
know,
was
the
telling you
neighbor.
about that the other
Yes.
day. Yes. That one, I feel like maybe I sent you guys a clip or something from Instagram when she because her father dies and then she goes from being like the wealthiest little girl in the school to like having to clean. And she
Yeah.
there's that mean girl with the pointy
Yes.
nose.
Oh, and then she
Yeah.
pretends to be the witch.
Yeah. And she like puts a spell on her or whatever. Yeah.
That one is so
That was a
weird.
good one.
Well, it's weird because there's like two stories happening, like there's like the story and then she's like telling stories and there's like the
Hmm.
guy and it takes place in
Mhm.
India and
Yeah. Oh wow.
it's just like
Wow.
very
Yes.
emotional,
So the other one that
Very
is
layered.
The Secret Garden.
I was just thinking that too.
Weird.
That one messed me up, kind of.
Was that the one with the little boy in the wheelchair?
Yes.
And she had to like push him out around everywhere. And
I feel
kind
like I need to watch that again.
Yes.
Because there's like just scenes from it that really just don't feel good in
Right.
my
No, I feel a little cringy even talking about
Yes,
it. Just
but
like,
I feel like if I watched it now, I'd be like, oh, that's that's a great story. But watching it as a kid was like, I don't understand what's happening. And this kid is really pale and she's weird. And that guy is like, doesn't know what to do with her. And like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that movie made me wonder, if I go through this gate or if I go around this bush, like, will I find a secret garden? Like, I guess it always gave me that imagination that there were like almost like Narnia, like there's other
Oh,
worlds
so good.
behind these things. Like, when we like the elementary school that we went to, there was like a fence that would like, then if you like kicked the ball over the fence and you had to like go on a journey or go up into the woods or something, like,
Mhm.
I don't know. I think it just like made my mind like very
Totally.
imaginative.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what's the most recent movie you've watched?
Kevin is so funny. So he turns 42 this year, and which is the answer to all things.
Oh,
Okay,
that's
so I had never seen the Guardian
Hitchhiker's
the
Guide to the Galaxy.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Yeah. I'd never seen it before, but Kevin like quotes it all the time and just like loves it. And he really wants a birthday party themed for that. Which is
Cool.
funny because most people aren't even going to understand it. But so we watched it and it was weird. It's like weird British humor and it was weird. I mean, it had kind of a stellar cast. Like Zoe Deschanel's in it, and the guy who's in Sherlock, it was in it, who was Watson. But anyways, so that's what we watched. And I try like, in marriage, you're always having to compromise. Like you choose a movie, then I choose a movie. And he got to choose that movie. And I was like, okay, like I'm gonna watch it. And he was so appreciative that I did, but it was definitely weird and I didn't get it. But that's okay. But now I have ideas of his birthday this year. And
Do you
yeah,
have to plan that party?
I mean, it's going to be fairly simple because, you know, there's just like it's different things about the movie where like you always need a towel like wherever you're going. So like maybe require people to wear a towel, like bring a towel to the party. I don't know.
Just
It's
like
going to be
funny
goofy.
inside joke kind of
Oh,
things.
that's
Yeah,
funny.
that most people won't understand unless they saw it. And he's like, I don't think we should like sit down and watch it with people because I'm not sure they'll like it, but maybe we'll have it like on the back and on in the background. And
Nice.
I don't know. It's just goofy. So that's what I watched. So I can check that off my list of
There you
movies I
go.
don't have to watch again.
I recently rewatched The Social Network,
Oh.
the one about Facebook.
Oh.
Yeah, crazy, right? I know it makes you like want to get
So
off.
horrible. And part
Yeah.
of it, I think, is that actor. Like, he's just really good at being such a jerk, you know? But I also think, like, Zuckerberg is a jerk. So, I don't know. I like, every once in a while, I get into those moods of, like, watching based on true story movies, you know? And then I'm, like, researching the whole time to see what the person actually looked like and, like, what happened to them and all of that. Nice.
No, it's crazy because you can kind of it's almost like when I took a consumer behavior class in college, it made me see shopping so differently because I almost saw behind the veil of like
Mhm.
how they sell you products and all that. And so it kind of ruined shopping for me if I'm totally honest. But it also made it like so interesting to be like, oh, I see what you're trying to do. And I think it's the same thing when you kind of understand like the whole algorithms and the whole purpose and them getting you content. No wonder people get fed only the things that they're talking about and researching because that's then going to be continued to be fed to you, which is why you really need to have like more of a neutral position so you're hearing from both sides. But it is scary and so it makes you want to take breaks more often just to kind of shut that off.
The Social Network is like the origin story of Facebook. I think Social Dilemma is the one about the algorithms, but they're telling the
That's
same
right.
they're telling very similar stories. He was really smart, but just conniving and
Yeah.
dishonest and insecure. Like that's which who knows if that's part of like the true part of the story, but just it was all because this girl rejected him and
Oh,
he just like couldn't get over it, you know. And now, and he was, yeah. And then he became the youngest billionaire in the world or something like that. So it's wild. Anyways,
Um, movie, I'm not sure. Does documentary count?
yeah.
yeah.
we've watched several of the Alex Honnold. He's a climber. This recent one we watched, they went to the biggest glacier in the world. It was kind of like a Earth Day one to see like,
Mm.
how climate change is affecting these glaciers that are giving us fresh water. Anyway, it was super interesting, in these climbers that do just like insane, terrifying things, but it's also really inspiring. And yeah, that was the last one.
Was that on Disney?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
like National Geographic or something.
Uh-huh. Mhm.
He's such an interesting
Very.
human being.
Yeah, it's almost heartbreaking how little of empathy and I don't know, just like the warmth. He doesn't have warmth to him. He just is like,
Mhm.
he's married and has a baby, but
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
uh-huh. But even that, I mean, he's still out doing these climbs that he could easily die on, and he's like, nah.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure they did MRIs on him and they're like,
He's
dude, what
missing-
normally like fires
Yeah,
on
he's-
fear
Whoa.
or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah, is missing.
Yeah, so
Oh.
very
Wow, which
interesting.
you would need that if you're doing things without a rope. Like that fear factor kind of has to be gone or
Mhm.
you would choke, up on the wall or whatever. So
Right. Yeah, so we really love watching those kind of things.
Nice.
the other day I was, sometimes when you just like want to watch a movie, what movie is it that you're like, I could always watch it. I'll never get sick of it. Or if it's on TV, you're like, yep, I'll watch. What movie is that?
Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah. I would
Yep.
that one for sure. Yeah.
Mhm.
Any J-Lo ones.
Nice.
I-
Made in Manhattan.
Yes.
Wedding Planner.
What's her
Second
most
act.
recent- Yes.
Second act. Love that one.
Yeah. So any J-Lo, Devil Wears Prada.
Katherine Heigl too. I like 27
Yes.
Dresses. I just watched Life as We Know It. That one's so cute. Oh, you should watch
I
that
don't
one
know if
you
I've seen
haven't
that one.
before. It's her and Josh.
Do they
Dumel?
do in someone's kid?
How do you say his last name? Yeah.
Dumel.
Dumel. Yeah.
Josh Dumel.
Mhm.
Oh,
Oh, it's so.
Oh, yeah. Ugly
I
Truth.
love those.
That one's cute.
That one's hot. I feel like it's a little more raunchy, but
It is more raunchy, yeah. I
um,
went on a Katherine Heigl like spree the other weekend. It was like 27 Dresses, Ugly Truth. I think I could always watch like in college, one of our favorite movies, like on the bus, was Baby Mama.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I
for sure.
was watching it on the plane and I was literally laughing out loud. I know that movie almost by heart, but it just is so funny. It's so
good.
funny.
She's like,
So
when they're in the birthing class or whatever, and the lady is like, woo woo.
Alex said the other day, a patient said to him, you have like this aura. You have this warm aura. And I was like a sunset?
like Sunset.
Sunset. Yeah, I feel like we
Uh,
quote that one. Alex and I quote that one
gosh.
so much.
all the time. Or like, it's still funny. It's still funny.
I don't know your life.
Yeah. Right.
You're like, here, let me give you some money for gas.
Uh.
We always quote, is that an alligator? And it's not
No,
even
that's Hellboy.
anything. You're right.
Yeah.
No, that's Hellboy. No, it's not even like about anything, but it's just like, oh, is that an alligator? It's so funny.
or like,
Gosh.
I need to insert myself in your business.
Yeah, your
like, I don't know.
business.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, such a good one.
So here comes your baby mama.
Mama
Driving
riding in
a
a Suzuki.
Oh, so good.
Oh my gosh.
I think, okay, let's maybe talk favorite genre. Do we have a favorite genre of movies?
Rom-com.
Probably
Right.
rom-com.
Same.
As far
Although
as like, comfort.
Yeah, like if you're gonna sit
Yes.
and like actually watch it, rom-com.
Mhm.
I mean, I do like a good suspenseful thriller, like an Italian Job, Ocean's movie.
Ooh, that's
I
the
don't know,
one
I
we
think-
watched. Oh, the girl one where
Ocean's 8.
Anne Hathaway
that
is
one.
in it. That one was so good. I
It
think
is
that
so
was the most recent movie we watched.
Nice.
Yeah, sorry.
I feel like the past year has been like a really hard year for us, like grief and loss and things like that. And I cannot watch movies that are gory. I can't do it. I'm like, I can't watch this. Like things that I used to be able to watch, I am just like much more sensitive to. And sometimes I'm like, how did I watch this before? Like, I don't know. And I don't know if that's kind of like a thing, like when you've experienced something that it just kind of changes the way you see things or your just sensitivities to things. And so like I'm always like, can we watch something lighthearted or funny or happy? Like I
Yes.
can't do dark or sad or graphic. Like I just can't do it anymore.
Well, and I think too, it's kind of like, what's the purpose in watching this? Is it to make me feel a
Totally.
certain way? If it is,
Mhm.
like, I want to feel like inspired, or I want to
Mhm.
laugh, or,
Mhm.
feel romance or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know I'm the same. Anything with kids, even if it's like maybe happy stuff. Like Inside Out, I love that movie, but gosh, it makes me cry so much because I just see my
Mhm.
kids and growing up and how their emotions change, and I just
Yeah.
can't go there, so I don't. But yeah, it's just like anything with like animals, doggy stories. Nope. Nope.
Nope.
Kids. Nope. Yeah, I just want like a
I
happy, lighthearted escape. Cute.
I mean, I do love a good, like, I feel like growing when we were like in high school, like during like, you know, high school days, all these underdog sports movies came out, like Miracle, Glory Road, all those. Anyways, on Netflix, there was a new one called like The Best Game or something. It's um based in the UK somewhere. It is a true story about a homeless World Cup, and homeless people around the world are put onto teams for their country and play in this like kind of a much smaller, almost like indoor soccer kind of a tournament. It was so good and it was wholesome. So, anyways, really good.
Huh.
You know the guy that's in Love Actually who sings the song? He's like the British guy who sings like the
Oh,
love
yeah.
song.
Uh-huh.
That actor is in it.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
But anyways, it's really good, and it was just like a really sweet feel good movie. Plus, I like movies that are based off of true stories too.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
That
so
also reminds me of the one with the gentleman who is given the role of helping a special needs basketball team. What was that
yes,
one? That one was out in the theater.
champions,
Champion.
Oh,
champions,
good. I love that one. It's so
so
good.
sweet.
So rom-com's overall favorite genre.
I do like a good like psychological thriller, you know. Trying to think
Mhm.
of a really good one that I saw recently.
Did you watch The Shining?
Well, I do like The Shining. Or like what's the one with Blake Lively and Anna Kendrick? A Simple Plan, A
Oh,
Simple
you like that? Oh my gosh, that one was
It's just
crazy.
like I love those movies that are like, what is happening? I don't know.
Mhm.
Doesn't give you nightmares?
Not really.
Gosh.
I do stay away from anything with like demons or exorcism or
Yucky.
that stuff I can't do. But like the
No.
psychological thrillers, I really like.
Wow.
Did you ever see Enough with J Lo?
I love
Yes.
those. Enough. What's the other one with Julia Roberts too? Oh, Sleeping with the Enemy.
Oh. Okay, I
Um,
started watching that on a plane on one of my trips, but I couldn't keep watching because it just because there is like domestic violence in it, and it was
oh,
just like
there
really
is a
hard to
yeah.
watch.
I guess they both have kids in that one,
Yep.
in both of
Yeah.
those.
Yeah.
But I love a wife coming back to kick that guy's butt. Like it just, you know.
Right. Like I'm empowering.
Hmm.
Yeah, that one is.
Or
Yeah.
like Double Jeopardy was another one that was good. Or Where the Heart Is. Did you see that one too? I think that had Natalie Portman in it.
The psychological thriller that Kevin and I watched, I think when we were dating, was like 10 like Cloverfield
Cloverfield. Yes,
Lane.
yes. That one
Oh my
is
gosh, it was crazy.
insane.
Crazy.
Yes.
Yeah. And then you're like, wait, what? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never seen
See, I love movies that leave you thinking that at the end.
Where you're like, oh, I know exactly what's happening, and then
Mhm.
like major twist, and you're like, wait, what?
Mhm.
So
Like
I
any of
do.
the M. Night Shyamalan movies, so wild. One of his most recent ones. Oh, well, there was A Knock at the Cabin. That one was strange. And then Old was also really bizarre.
Oh, when they go in the cave and they come out and they're like 100 years older or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so wild. Because the whole movie is like bizarre and strange, and you're like, what's going on? And then you get to the end and you're like,
Did you see the one with Julia Roberts, like the more recent one? Like,
oh yes, about the end of the world, or what was it?
I don't know, but it was so dumb. The ending was so dumb. I was like, what? It was like somebody who like had ADHD or something was writing it. Like it was just like all
Yeah.
over the place and it didn't even wrap up. It was, I would not recommend it because you get to the end and you're like, what just happened?
Yes, like it's
Weird.
entirely forgettable because I did watch it, but I
Yes.
don't remember anything about it. Huh.
No, because there was like no and like there was no conclusion to anything, all the different
Right.
storylines, and there were like 6 going on at the same time. Dumb.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I do love movies. Did you, growing up, did you ever wish you could be an actor, like an actress? Did it ever make you want to be an actress?
No, I don't enjoy acting. Give
I
me a microphone and I'll sing any day of the week. But like acting, I just like doesn't doesn't do anything.
The only one that I thought would be fun to be in was Princess Diaries. I loved the idea of being in like that firehouse
Oh,
and her kitty, and she rides her like scooter everywhere, and
And you're silly
it's a
Franny.
makeover.
her makeover. Yeah.
I recently saw an interview with Anne Hathaway where she's like watching that back. And she just talks about how like it was literally like for her just the most magical moment, that movie. Like getting to act in that movie was just like, because I think she really was only like 17 or something. She was super young, but she just
Wow.
like, and she like watching it and she's getting choked up and just talking about how like that was the best thing I ever did, which is
Oh.
insane because she's literally been in like Les Mis, But I loved watching that just to like see how wholesome that was for her. But
I think I appreciated feeling like represented when we watched Parent Trap, like a real redhead, I was like, I could be her because I think we're about the same age. And so I was like, that would have been the dream to like be Lindsay Lohan in the Parent Trap. And like, I don't know. That always made me wish I could be an actress or being like a voiceover, like for Disney movies and being able to sing and
Mm.
that kind of stuff. But
I don't really feel like we were like princess girls.
I don't know. Emily was pretty into Jasmine, I think.
that's true. But yeah, it was never like we were never like obsessed with like Cinderella. I mean, we kind of did Disney sort of, but like we
Not
weren't like
really. Yeah.
no.
Yeah, I don't know. If I were gonna like if there was a movie that I wanted to be transplanted into or whatever as a kid,
Mm-hmm.
maybe like Babysitter's Club. Do you remember that movie? God, that was a good one. Or
Now and
like
Then.
10 Things I Hate About You. Now and Then. Ugh.
That was the other
good.
movie I was thinking of. Now and Then. We
Mhm.
watched that one all the time. Best soundtrack.
Yes.
I
Oh
swear.
my
It's so
God.
good.
Yes.
So good.
That one was so good.
Such good. When do you think you will start showing the classics to your kids? Like Little Rascals is on Peacock right now.
So we started it, I don't know, months ago. And Millie was like, well, they're so funny. They're so cute. Like she, I think, views them
She's
as
a
little.
good age
But Amos
for
was
it.
like, I don't like it. I don't want to watch it. And so we turned it off.
He's probably still in like cartoon phase, maybe.
They both are, just because we don't watch very much.
Yeah.
So I think they're both like perfectly still happy with like honestly Pinkalicious and
Well, and they get a little stuck in their rut, like Millie always wants to watch Finding Nemo. Even when I'm like, what about Finding Dory? I don't think so.
yeah, they definitely like what they like.
Yeah.
I feel like we did the same thing. We probably watched the same movie 100 billion times, and mom and dad were like, "Are you kidding me? We have to watch this again."
Yeah.
I did finally watch Encanto. Like Alex
That's
and the
cute.
kids had watched it so many
Okay.
times. It was so good.
It's
And also
very good.
so intense.
That's
but
why
like
Pixar movies are like amazing because there's
Yeah.
always this like deeper underlying meaning behind it that
it's so good. And the kids love it and the music is great.
nice.
Yeah. I
Good
don't know.
message.
I'm trying to think of other classics. Honestly, probably not much of the princess ones. I mean, poor Millie girl, I took her to Little Mermaid. That was too much. That was too much. The real live action mermaid.
I was even thinking about like The Lion King. The fifth
Oh.
graders did a music program last week and they did like Circle of Life, and it just made me think about like watching that movie. It's very good. I mean, it's traumatizing, but like the music in it is so good and the story and like
I'd probably say like fifth grade.
fifth grade.
It just, I'm like, I don't know what good you can get out of it.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't know. I'm like, my kids are so emotional and empathetic and like they like feel so much that I think, I don't know, I think seeing like Simba watches his dad die by his brother and the scary hyenas and I don't know, I think I'm just like
Maybe Parent Trap is better. That one's sweet.
so fun. Yes.
That one is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't
Or,
know.
you can't go wrong with Emperor's New Groove. That's a great one.
Oh, I
Oh
forgot
my
about that one.
That one's funny. Llama face. That's a good one.
That one's so silly.
So silly. It's
Mhm.
good. It's good.
I know. I feel like Disney movies always have like an orphan. Remember Fox and the Hound? That one made me cry all the time.
No, that one I don't like.
Like the music.
I know. I'm
I'm
just
like,
like,
why did it have to be so sad?
no, can we just do yeah, not that life is always happy and stuff, but I'm like, it also doesn't have to be sad and depressing. I mean, I don't even like watching those movies.
Right.
You know what other genre is weird that I feel like we watched a lot were like That Darn Cat and Ugly Dachshund and
Yeah.
Pollyanna.
What about the one where the puppy dog goes up in the hot air balloon?
Napoleon?
So
or Babe or Gordy.
Gordy.
Yeah. There's like a
Those-
whole weird miscellaneous bizarre movie.
What's the one with the paint and the big pot of beans?
Oh, that's Dennis the Menace.
Yeah.
That one's good.
It's so
The
weird.
scary guy is pretty scary.
That one is so weird though. The paint.
But the one I think I sent it to you, the cartoon, I think it was called Nemo, about the little
Oh,
boy and the
so
train and the
The Dreams or
clown.
something.
Yes,
so creepy.
awful.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Also, like, where did mom and dad get those and why? You
No.
know, I don't know. So weird.
The library. I feel like we took a lot of trips to the library and got like Chitty Chitty Bang Bang and like all those like classics.
Well, because I
Love Bug.
associate that with Tita, like going to see Papa and Tita. Because she would take us to the library and we would always get movies. And that's where we got like The Hobbit, the cartoon Hobbit,
Ooh,
which was scary.
so scary.
Or what was that other one? Secret of the Nymph?
Oh, with the mouse. Or Five Goes West. Remember that one?
Oh, that's a good
Give him the late
Yeah.
shine. That one is funny.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, I think it was at Teachers that we watched like Pollyanna, The Old Parent Trap, Freaky Friday.
Oh, that's a fun one. I still feel like I can like smell their living room.
Yes.
Totally.
I can like sit myself in a chair and I can see, all the
The
little
shag
brass horsey
carpet.
things and
The
the
shag.
carpet and the Sharpays and the wooden, I think it was like in a wooden box, like TV,
Uh-huh.
like there was like a specific smell to their house. Like it's so interesting how,
Uh-huh.
you know, things transport you back to those moments.
Totally.
Oh, okay. When we were growing up, you know, during the summer, we got to do like go to the movie theater kind of a thing.
Oh,
Oh, and that's where Wild Cherry Pepsi became like an
Yes.
obsession and a connection directly to a movie theater.
Yes.
That popcorn, Wild Cherry Pepsi. Oh,
my gosh,
best.
that was the best. The little cardboard box with the popcorn and stuff. They still do that.
Mm-hmm.
They do that for the kids
Mhm.
here. Summer movies.
So good. Or the splat mat in front of the TV on
Oh
Fridays.
my gosh, this black man.
I haven't thought about that in forever.
That's so funny.
It was this like plastic mat that it was the only time we were allowed to like eat in front of the TV that wouldn't get on the carpet, but we would get out the splat mat and we would usually like have like homemade pizza. And that was when we could like sit on the floor and watch a movie or something and eat. So
We do
Or
that
like going to Hastings and checking out movie
or like Blockbuster.
so weird.
I don't know. Kids won't know. Like kids these days just don't get it.
Mm-mm. But I think that's why, like, I mean, obviously, I totally respect and understand, like, not wanting to show kids movies that aren't quite appropriate or that they're not ready for. But, like, clearly, these movies hold such a dear place in, like, our childhood and our memories. Like, I would hate for the kids to, like, miss out on that, you know? And they're making their own memories with the movies that are tied to that. But, like,
Yeah, I think at some point.
What we should do is we should have like a movie night and like rewatch some of these ones
That's
because
true. See which
our
ones were
perspective
worth
may
it.
be different. Because I feel like a lot of times over the years, like things that were like PC back then are
Uh-huh.
not PC now,
Right.
which is so interesting too.
or you do forget the things that are inappropriate for sure. I mean, I remember doing that as a teacher, like, oh, this movie is no big deal. And then you watch it and you're like, oh gosh, don't look. What? You know, just like, yeah,
Yeah.
horrifying. And waiting till they're older is probably a good idea too.
Mhm.
You don't traumatize them, but
Yeah,
there's so many good ones.
there are. Yeah,
That was a good word.
that was a good word.
Mm-hmm. So fun.
Movies.
I definitely don't watch very many movies. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is it? Like I can binge watch a show for like 6 hours, but the idea of sitting down and watching a movie, I'm like, that's too much of a commitment. No thanks.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. How does that make sense? I don't know.
Same.
I feel like our attention spans are just different now too. So, especially when like there's some movies that are shorter than some episodes of television now, you know, or like the same length of time.
Interesting.
I don't know. Sometimes Kevin will like, hey, you want to watch a movie? And I look at the time. I'm like, it's 8:00. No, we can watch like 3 episodes of Young Sheldon and then we'll go to bed. Like the idea of, watching a movie late at night. Because I feel like anytime we go, you know, if we want to watch a movie with mom or even like his mom, like they always fall asleep during a movie.
Same. That's me for sure.
Yeah.
Too much of a commitment.
Yeah. There are some movies that like Kevin just wants me to watch and like Lord of the Rings and Star Wars and Star Trek. And
just wait.
they're
You can
just
watch
too
them with
painful.
Alex all day, every day. Because I'm the same. I'm like, who is that weird creature? What are they doing? Like, what are you?
I know.
Why?
It requires far too much investment.
Right. So yeah, no. Alex and Kevin, when the day comes, they can be geeks together.
Great. Because I just don't really do fantasy. Like it's just not really my jam or sci-fi. Just like I don't get it. Like for Kevin, it's just like, oh, this is like so intellectual and like, and I'm like, it just takes too much brain power. Like, can I just have like a dumb rom-com that I don't have to think too hard?
Right.
Like he like loves Interstellar, and I'm like, what is with this like multi-dimension thing? What? I don't know. So
That I did like that movie.
I did like that one too. Or
that was good.
what
I
was
like
that?
The Martian. That was
Was
good.
that the one where he gets stranded on Mars?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was good. Yeah.
Or like Inception.
Oh.
That one was
Or
weird.
Hunger
Okay,
Games.
rewatch
Oh, I
that
did like
one.
Hunger Games. That one's good.
Oh, did you watch the most recent, the newest one?
I didn't do it.
No, I didn't either.
It was too dark, it seemed.
It like the concept is very dark, yeah. But then you kind of see the origin story of Mr. Snow or whatever his name was, which is kind of sad. It just kind of shows like he had this like innate evil about him from the very beginning. Yeah.
That's a good word.
That was fun. I feel like you're always sending us stuff on Instagram of all these like childhood movies.
It's so fun.
It
'cause
is
you're like,
so
it's like
fun.
memory unlocked.
yeah,
You know?
you're like, I haven't thought about that in
Ugh,
forever.
I love it.
It's like I think you like you must follow like a 90s because you're like Polly Pocket commercials or Molly the
Or the one with the baby bottle and the peas.
Yeah.
When I watched that one, I was like,
Oh, it's so weird.
so
It's like
mind-blowing.
it's like part of my algorithm now.
The milk.
But I did start following an American Girl. Yeah, it's like they take pictures of articles from the American Girl magazine. So like, which mom had a subscription for me to that magazine for like several years. So it's trippy when you like look at those pictures and you're like transported through time.
Back to your room looking at them.
So weird, but really cool. So
wow.
Yeah.
but yeah, the Polly Pockets.
Maybe our next one should be childhood toys or something.
Yeah, that's good.
That would be fun. We'll have to add that to our list. If you have any other words or
American Girl.
nostalgic things you think of, like send them our way.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on A Word with the Girls, a podcast where one word sparks conversation. We believe in the power of connection and stories. Now it's your turn. Take today's word movies to your people and see where the conversation takes you. Let us know how it goes in the comments on Instagram or here on Spotify or YouTube. Thanks for joining.
Fun.
So good to see you all.
Yeah.
Yes, good to catch up.
All right. Love you.
Love you more. Bye.
Bye.
Join us for A Word with the Girls. New episodes drop every week.